fear. That force that stops us from realizing a wonderful life that we would love to have and we deserve. You see, one of the reasons why we have fear is because we have inherited from previous generations. It comes in our physical body and it comes in the programming by just living together. So it's both nature and nurture. But something is terrific of living right now here in this planet. There are many techniques on how to live with fear, how to take that charge that the fear has in your system and decrease it so that you can concentrate in your life on what you really want to be living right now. So I'm going to give you one technique, one of my favorites, really powerful technique. This is the technique of the worst case scenario. You see, I come from a family where women were abandoned and men were bad. All men were bad and all men abandoned women. And I got that in my mind, very, very good. I am a victim and I will be abandoned and men are bad. So with that thinking, I sabotaged all the relationships I had in my life. Little by little, I started to open to the possibility that that was not true. And I met really honest people, really honest men. I met men who actually suffer because of the behavior of women. So I had already some kind of question mark about this programming. I was aware of it and I was doubting if it was true. But the charge that it had in my heart was really high. So with that openness, I was able to open myself for love. I had this wonderful person I met. We started dating and things were going fine, but I was still terrified of abandonment. One good night he went out for dinner and he was just not coming back. He called me, he will be back in an hour, and an hour passed, and an hour and a half, and 2 hours, and 3 hours, and I started to panic. This is really true abandonment. My God, he must be dead. He must have had a car accident. And in this state of panic, I got myself into the panic. I got myself really in the worst case scenario. Right now, the telephone is going to ring. The ambulance is going to call me. I will need to collect his body. I will need to organize a funeral. I will need to empty this apartment, fly far away. I will be in the Caribbean for years, crying and drunk. When I put myself in that environment in the Caribbean, crying and drinking, I realized, well, one day I will stop drinking. One day I will be able to smile and have a normal life. And then I realized, hey, I can cope with this. Even if he abandoned me, I could leave. The fear is not really going to kill me. This is not going to kill me. So that moment of realization, that's when the door opened and he came home. And something big changed in me. I had a taste of the pain of the realization of that fear, of seeing that fear really concretely manifesting in my life, and realized that I was bigger than that. When you get into that place that you are bigger than the worst that can happen, then you can concentrate in the now and be ready to take risks and to step above that fear. Get yourself in the worst case scenario. Taste the most horrible outcomes and realize that you are much bigger than anything that can happen. And from that place, dare